Hey guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. Today's episode is all about what to know before signing up for a medical coding trade school. Now, if you are brand new to my channel, welcome. I am Blue. I'm a medical coder. I have been a medical coder for over 10 years. I really love what I do. I created my channel with the hopes of sharing my knowledge with all of you, whether you are a veteran medical coder or somebody brand new to the field or just somebody that is curious about what this whole field is like. So I hope you'll take a second, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I come out with a new episode. My episodes I've been doing pretty good about having them come out at 7:30 Monday through Friday Central Standard Time. So again, hit that notification bell and let's get started. All right, now you want to get into medical coding and you're presented with all these different trade schools and all of these promises. What's it all about? How do I break it all down? Blue, tell me what the deal is. Okay, let's get into it. All right, so the first thing is first. Whenever you are going to go apply for trade schools, you need to know that they have their motivation and you have your motivation. Your motivation is what is most important. You want to get educated. You don't want to spend a ton of money. You want to know that you're going to be able to get a job. Okay. We're going to talk about that. But let's talk about the trade school's motivation. They want to get you in. They're going to sweet talk you. They are going to tell you whatever they have to tell you in order to get you into their program. They might bash other credentials, other associations. They may do all of that trash talk just to get you to come to their school. Or they may say, well, there's nobody out there that's saying anything bad about this school, so it must be good. Guys, first things first, you need to decide which medical coding association you want to go to. There are two major medical coding association powerhouses, okay? And if you want to be a medical coder, if you're serious about being a medical coder, these are the two associations you have to go through. You have to be certified through them. And they may say, oh yes, there's this other association, blah, blah, blah. No, if you want to be a medical coder, if you want to be competitive in this field, you have to go through the American Health Information Management Association, or AHIMA, at ahima.org, and I'll leave these links down in the description box below. Guys, please look at the link and check them out. Or you can go through the American Academy of Professional Coders, or aapc.com. They have their beginning entry-level credentials. With AHIMA, it's the CCA, or the Certified Coding Associate. And with AAPC, it is the CPC. It'll have a -A at the end when you first get it, because it's saying that you are an apprentice, okay? Basically that you have little to no experience. And you can do things to have that A removed. They have a program through their website called PractiCode, and it gives you hours and hours of basically scenarios and things that you got to code so that you can have that A removed. Or it will happen after you've gotten your job and you've had a certain amount of hours, and then you have to get a letter. All the information is on the website, guys. Okay, but you have to decide which one you want to go through. Now, if you are insisting on going to go through a trade school, trade schools are expensive. Trade schools can run you in the thousands, okay? Now, you need to get the maximum amount of value for your money, okay? Because right now, I mean, obviously with the pandemic, it's caused a lot of people to rethink their occupations, and they say it's a good time to get back into school and things like that. There's a lot of trade schools out there pressuring people right now to tell them, you got to sign up by this date, and we're going to give you this deal and this deal, this deal. Let me fill you in on something. Trade schools always have deals, okay? That's number one. So don't let anybody pressure you into, oh, well, it'll only be for this amount of time. You got to sign up. No. Do your research, okay? Make sure that you do that, number one. Research about the school. Now, if you're going to an online trade school, obviously a lot of stuff is going to be going on online. There's probably not going to be a whole lot of teacher interaction, like instruction, like physical instruction. So you have to know that it's possible that you're going to have to learn this on your own by the book. And that's what I did. When I went to my trade school, they did not teach me. We had somebody who came in who was a veteran medical coder. He would come in and he would give us like a seminar, and that was it. And that was like maybe once a week, sometimes twice a week if we got lucky. But other than that, that was all the instruction that we had. We went through an online module, okay? So there wasn't a whole lot of instruction, and that may happen. Now, the other thing that may happen is you may get involved with a trade school that is just teaching you to pass the certification exam, but not teaching you the critical thinking skills. Those critical thinking skills are what's going to save you when you're out there trying to apply for jobs. Because guess what? When you get your certification, whether you go through a HEMA or AAPC, you're still going to have to take an assessment test whenever you apply at any position, any job. You are going to have to take an assessment test. They need to know what your skill set is, okay? Now, I've talked about this on a lot of my videos. It is very difficult for medical coders to get jobs in the beginning. That is just a fact of life. I don't know why. Personally, I think it's sort of stupid that they make you have to have experience before they'll hire you. But how are you supposed to get experience if no one will hire you? There are some places that do hire brand new medical coders. Me personally, I would hire brand new coders in a second. Why? Because brand new medical coders don't have bad habits to break. Now, yes, it is beneficial to have somebody who has experience, but at the same time, they kind of get stuck in their ways. And sometimes veteran coders, for whatever reason, they just want to stay with whatever's comfortable. If you are brand new, you need to be able to accept anything, any position that you get thrown into, okay? And having your credential is going to tell anybody that you're applying with that you are capable of knowing how to code. You know the basic rules. You may not have experience, but you have the basic skill set to learn how to look up codes and apply procedures and things like that. These things take time, but you have to know that critical thinking. That's a step that gets missed a lot. Trust me, I've gotten the emails to prove it. The people say, well, I felt like I was only taught to pass the exam, and then now I'm out in the real world, I can't get a job, and I just feel like I wasted my time. You didn't waste your time. You have to know how to apply yourself. That's the only thing. And yes, it's going to take some time to learn. Trust me, I've been in it 10 plus years, and I'm still learning every day. But do not let them pressure you. They're going to tell you things like, oh yeah, you can work from home. If you get your certification, you get a job, you can work from home. Oh, this is the delight of a lot of people. They think it's the greatest thing that you can work at home. Let me tell you guys something. What they're not telling you is that you need a minimum of 3 years. That's the average amount of time that you need to be a medical coder before you can go remote. Now, you may say, well, Blue, that's not what they said. Okay, here's the thing. I don't have any reason to lie to you. That's number one. I have no reason to lie. I have no reason to try to discourage or encourage you. I'm coming to you with the facts. This is the stuff that they're not going to tell you because they want your money. They want you to sign up for their program. Do you know how hard it is to get adults to sign up to go to school? It's not as easy as you might think, okay? There's a lot of adults that don't want to go back to school. They never liked school, and it's just ridiculous. They don't want to have to do it. They want to get something that's done easy. And so then you hear people making all these stupid promises that, oh, there's this and there's that, there's this, there's that. Trust me, if you do your research, you'll know what the meaning is behind those things, okay? Like when they're telling you that you can work from home. Yes, you can after 3 years at least, because you need to have that experience. Because trust me, in the beginning, when you're getting out there in the real world, book coding and real world coding is two different things. And now when you're out there in the real world, you're going to want somebody to ask, hey, can you help me? Because this is really hard. Trust me, it's going to be difficult, especially the first time you go out. Because doctors do not write like a textbook. No. They are extremely intelligent, but they will write however they feel like writing. And especially if they have never been trained by a good hands-on medical coder, they will do whatever they want to do, okay? Now, there are some doctors that document wonderfully and they do it all on their own. But then there are some that you really do have to work with. So you have to have that experience before you can work at home, okay? And then the other thing is these outlandish starting salaries that some people come out with. Now, I talked about this before. I will say this and say this and say this and say this. I do not talk about money and specifics on my channel. If you want to know what a medical coder makes, go to the Department of Labor or to the Bureau of Statistics and you type in your zip code or your area or your state, and they will tell you what the starting salary is for medical coders in your state, because everybody is going to start off at a different rate, whether it is a public hospital, private hospital, or a government hospital. All of these are going to make different starting salaries for their coders, okay? It'll tell you what the average is, what the starting salary average is for your area. Please do not ask me, because I will not respond, or I will tell you to look on Department of Labor or the Bureau of Statistics. That's the rule of my channel, because I don't need to sensationalize what medical coders make. We make good money, okay? But I'm not going to sit here and feed everybody lies because, I'm going to show you this huge, large amount of money. Guys, that happens after you've been in the field for a while, after you've had years of experience, and depending on what you're doing or the specialty that you're in, that's when you start making those big dollars, okay? But I'm not going to sit here and say that that's what you're going to start out at that, because that's ridiculous and it's a lie. I'm just saying, okay? So know your motivation, know their motivation, and choose carefully. If you ask me, I will tell you, go directly to the association websites, period. Don't go to all of these crazy places and things like that. Go directly to the association websites. AAPC has and I will say this about them. I'm not associated with them. This is not an ad, okay? Neither AHIMA nor AAPC tells me that, advertise. None of them. I get nothing for this. But I will tell you this. With AAPC, they always have a sales. They have a grassroots movement. They have all these things all the time. And every time I go to the website, because I've gone to their website for research for my channel, because I present you guys with both. Even though I'm an HEMA member, I tell you guys about AAPC as well, because I think that you guys can make your own decisions. Not every association or both of these associations, not everyone is compatible with the association, okay? And what I mean when I say that is both give wonderful benefits. If you ask me, AHIMA is the longest, oldest, most they're both respected, but AHIMA was the originator, okay? So because they were the originator, they are steeped in history, and a lot of it goes back to the original founder of our association. So that's the thing about AHIMA, and it's got a lot of respect. Both associations have lots of respect, but I'm telling you guys, if you ask me my opinion, it is my opinion, okay? I will say that about AHIMA. With AAPC, it has a wonderful grassroots movement. There are so many members, and they do require you to have a membership with their association before you sit for their exams, before you pay to take their exams, okay? AHIMA does not, okay? You don't have to be a member of AHIMA to take their exam. They do have a price for members versus non-members, okay? So that is it's entirely up to you. But they are both wonderful organizations, okay? I will say that. And go through their online medical coding programs if that's what you're interested in, okay? Because the thing is, it's through the associations themselves that are actually going to give you the certification exams, okay? You just have to pay to take them separately. Or I think AAPC might include it in some of their packages. They have different packages. AHIMA, their online program, as far as I know, and today is Sunday the 3rd. Yes. Right? Yes. Today is Sunday, May 3rd. I'm filming this the day before because I like to keep ahead of everything and everybody. Because when I find that I film at the last minute, I'm rushing, and I don't like that. But I will call them tomorrow just to double check. But it looks like their online program is back up and running, okay? Because they have the medical terminology and anatomy and physiology. They changed the price, so that's how I think that their program is back up and running. But if you're interested and I haven't addressed it yet, be sure to check and call the American Health Information Management Association customer service hotline and see if their Coding Basics bundle is up and running. This will help you to prepare for the CCA or the Certified Coding Associate exam. It also meets the educational requirements for the CCS or the Certified Coding Specialist. Now you have to have certain educational requirements met for the CCS. So you need to look at the website because everybody's educational background is different and it's going to require a certain set, okay? So make sure that you look at it before you think, oh yeah, I want to sit for the CCS. The CCS, you have to know both inpatient and outpatient coding. It is quite advanced. It is the gold standard of medical coding credentials. Now, I will say that, and I truly do mean that. Nothing against the other ones, but that one credential is telling the people that you can do both inpatient and outpatient coding. So I think that's pretty impressive. You know, the CCA is the entry level medical coding credential. There are plenty of positions that do require that credential. I've heard a lot of trash talk about the CCA, and I'm here to tell you that as many times as I've looked at job positions, because I have to do research for my channel, and I've done that before, and I'm probably going to do it within the next couple of weeks again. I've looked at it and I've seen it said, you know, on there where they're looking for a CCA, and it's perfectly acceptable. But you need to look in your area to see which credentials they're looking for. And don't get hung up on the fact that they say, oh yeah, you need a year, 2 years experience before we'll hire you. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Just look at what credentials are they looking for. Okay, that is where you can get some sort of guidance about what credential you want to sit with. Okay, now, like I said, getting back to these associations or these trade schools, they're going to sweet talk you. They're going to tell you all these wonderful things. They're going to say all these things, but you got to ask the questions. How hands-on are the providers? How hands-on are the teachers? Okay, if you have questions, you know, is there going to be somebody that I can ask? Are there study groups available? Do you help with job placement assistance afterwards? You know, what is the deal here? What are the assistance that I can get? Okay, and like I said, you can go through the trade schools if you want to. I've always advocated to go directly to the association websites themselves. And, you know, you can go about it that way. I also say that if you want to do all of this stuff, you can study on your own. I do have a video out that says what to study independently if you want to independently study and bypass all of these things. You can teach yourself to do medical coding. I do have those videos, and it does break down the books that you need. And you can go to the association website. AHIMA particularly is the one that I was talking about in the video. And it'll tell you what books are recommended to study for the CCA. That way you can study with those. If you have previous background in medical terminology or anatomy and physiology, you're already light years ahead. Okay, you can study on your own for these credential exams. It's entirely up to you, and it's entirely how much dedicated you are. Okay. Now, I do have some videos up on my channel that I talk about, like how to do medical coding and things like that. Sorry, I have a Back to the Basics series on my channel. I also have a Patreon channel that I do regular coding quizzes. I do crossword puzzles, and I'm going to plug my channel for just a little bit. I do crossword puzzles to help with medical terminology. I do critical thinking scenarios. These are scenarios that I come up with, so that way we can discuss them and talk about them, and I break them down. I do lots of things on my Patreon channel, and the supporter levels start out at just $1 per month, and you get access to all that. Okay, higher pledge levels do include one-on-one tutoring time via Zoom. So if you get to a point where you get stuck and you need like that one-on-one time, it's totally fine. I will be available by Zoom, but there is a higher cost for that. Okay, and it's very reasonable. Just check the Patreon link. Okay, I will leave it down in the description box below. But yes, I am available for questions at all times. But at the same time, if you're asking me questions about a scenario, I need to know that you've done your research first. and that way I can know how to help you, okay? Because if you're just coming to me because you need the answers to things, I'm not going to do that. Because you know the expression, if you teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime, is exactly what I do. I need to know that you're actually trying and putting forth the effort. You know, that's what I do. That's how I do my, anytime I'm helping people or whatever, that's what I do. And the reason that I do that is because, could I give you the answer? Sure. But is it going to make it easier for you when you get out in the real world and you are presented with all of this? No, it's not going to make it any easier for you. It's not going to help you, okay? And I'm about helping people, okay? So that's what I say when I say teaching you those critical thinking skills. That's the whole thing about it. So on my channel, we talk about medical coding. I talk about, you know, the ins and outs of the field and things like that. But on Patreon, it is really concentrated on that. So if you're interested, I hope you'll check it out. But yes, that is my discussion today about those trade schools. Okay, got to be careful with those trade schools. Don't let them take you for all this money and things like that, because I've seen the amount of money that they come out with that they're asking for, like the cost of a car. Are you freaking kidding me? Really? The cost of a car? When you could go to the association websites for a fraction of the cost, okay? Not even. It's just a fraction of the cost of those trade schools. That it's just like barely any education. They just give you the books and then they just turn you loose. There you go. Okay, guys? And I'm going to be talking about these accelerated programs on Friday. And that's something else that I'm going to address separately in a separate video, because I mean, I could honestly go on forever about that. But I need you guys to listen to what I'm telling you, because I get emails from people that they ask about these accelerated programs and they seem so excited about it. And yes, it's exciting. It's exciting to want to start a new career and things like that. But they get so wrapped up in these accelerated programs, and then they get extremely let down later when they say, well, I didn't learn all of this stuff and I'm confused and I'm lost and I don't understand this. Okay, guys, that's why I'm telling you. You have to pay attention to what they're telling you. Please pay attention to what they're saying. Please pay attention to how aggressive that they're being. If they're saying, okay, let's just sign you up, that's what their job is. Don't let somebody else dictate to you what you're going to end up having to go through. Because that's debt, guys. It's debt. And then if you're going taking a student loan, oh my gosh. Those student loans, I don't even want to get into student loans. I don't even want to get into it. But you can't just try to go the cheapest route. You can't just try to go the most expensive route. You can't just try to go the fastest route. You have to learn this stuff at a pace that's comfortable for you, number one, at a price that's comfortable for you, number two, okay? Now, don't get sucked into these trade schools, okay? And don't let them force you into signing up, okay? Because there's many different alternatives, and you just have to be aware, okay? And don't let them do that to you guys, okay? And like I said, I'll be talking about the accelerated programs on Friday, because I get a lot of emails about those accelerated programs. But if you've really taken the time to go through my videos and see what I've had to say in the past about accelerated programs, it's going to be the same thing. And the only reason that I need to bring it up is because, like I said, I'm getting so many emails about it. And I know it's because right now everybody's sort of rushing and trying to find something to get into, because, you know, with the pandemic and a lot of people are just out of work and things like that, and let me find a new career and things. This is a wonderful field. This is a wonderful career. But this is a career for people that are thinkers, that want to think, and that are committed to a lifetime of learning. I am committed personally to a lifetime of learning, but that's just me, and I'm built that way. I'm a nerd. I am, you know, but I don't mind it. And you know the expression, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. I say that all the time. I don't feel like I'm working because I really love what I do. And if that's what you want in your life, then great. But I'm telling you, it starts from the time that you are in school and what you're surrounding yourself with. Because if you get involved in a program that's going to discourage you because they're not teaching you and you feel like you paid out all this money. Of course, you're going to feel defeated even before you go take your certification exam because you didn't feel like you got all the instruction. And so I'm telling you guys, please listen to this advice. Please do your research. Please go through the associations if you're going to do any sort of training, because it's with the associations themselves. You really can't go wrong. And if you're going to college, college is expensive, you guys. It is really expensive. Well, I need that in classroom instruction. Okay, if you need the classroom instruction and that's what they do at the college, because I've seen some of them not do that, then okay. But make sure that you're choosing something that is right for you. And if the college is training you for a HEMA or AAPC credentials, then you're good. If it is another association that is not those two that I just said, then that's when you need to rethink that program is probably not what you need. Okay? I'm just saying, and I'm trying to help you guys out. So I hope you'll heed my advice. Please do your research. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this one up. But I will be back for Q&A Tuesday tomorrow. And if you like this video, if it helped you, please share it. Please share it, because that way I can touch more people and more people can be aware. Because when I get emails from people that say, "Oh, I'm so glad I finally found your channel, and I wish I would have known about this before I signed up for a program." Hopefully, by you sharing, you'll be able to help somebody else, okay, that's going through the same thing that you are. Where do I begin? Okay, so with that, I'm going to wrap it up. If you are a medical coder, a medical coding student, somebody curious about the fascinating world of medical coding, a provider or a nurse, I invite you to like and subscribe and follow me on my journey in medical coding. I will see y'all next time. Bye!